When I was invited to come to New Orleans to direct, I was thrilled to discover that on the short list of plays that the festival was interested in doing was the Shakespeare play that was at the top of my own list, and that is Cymbeline. It's a play I worked on 30 years ago at the National Theatre in the UK. It's one of a group of 3 late Shakespeare plays that he wrote right at the end of his career, with The Winter's Tale, Tempest, 3 plays that we worked on back then with a company there. And I don't think at the time, perhaps because I was 30 years younger, that I realized quite what a great piece it is. It is a play that isn't done very much, and I think because it's elusive, it's difficult to categorize it, whether it's tragedy, romance, comedy, psychological thriller. It's all of these. It contains, among other things, the original Jack in the Box. I don't want to say too much about that. Come see it. It's one of the most thrilling scenes in Shakespeare. It contains war, action, fighting, music. It has everything. The great thing about Shakespeare's plays is that they are timeless. They don't need some clever production design or some modern setting to make them applicable to us. They just need actors who are inside the text, understand the language, can make it come alive in a way that modern audiences can connect to, can understand. That's my job, is to make sure that you can follow the piece with no trouble. And I think, given the group of actors that we've got, I hope you'll agree that that's the place we're getting to. We're using a staging configuration called thrust, which means that instead of the production being sealed off behind a big archway with the audience all out in front, the audience wraps around the space. And one of the things that I'm encouraging the actors to do while they're working is to bring the audience in to the performance, so that instead of ignoring them, pretending that they're not there, they live a kind of double life. They're playing the truth of their relationships in the stage and in the story to each other, but they're also they're also playing the audience as they go. So the audience is brought into the story. They envelop, they're right there, they're all around us, and they're brought into the story as we go. And this is another way that we underline the ways in which the story is relevant to the audience today. You're not sealed off watching some historical pageant. The actors are out there living the life of these characters in the moment, right there, with and through the audience sometimes, sharing their thoughts and feelings with the audience, which is another way of bringing them on through and making sure that they connect with it and can feel part of the event, not that they're excluded by it by the oldness or strangeness of the language. That simply doesn't apply. It connects. Come see this play, if nothing else, because you don't know it. It is a wonderful play. It isn't often done. Try to resist the temptation to go read it before you come to see it. Come and see it for the thrill of watching a Shakespeare play where you don't know the ending, if that's the category that you're in. But come to see it because, although set at a time 1,000 years or so before our time now, still, the issues that the characters are negotiating, jealousy, fidelity, mistrust, loyalty, suspicion, the fear of abandonment, separation, and then men going up against each other, challenging each other, goading each other to further and further extremes, pride, humility. These characters really go through a roller coaster of different emotions, different pressures, different impulses and imperatives, and all of that is applicable to us now.